1,266 days till new halving, Fusion Grid sitting at 49, which is neutral. 27 days till the US election, and Bitcoin is currently trading at the 62.3k. On a daily time frame and on a forum time frame, we're trading above the 200 EMA, which is pretty nice. Yesterday we had a pretty small rejection from a downtrend resistance there. Recently we had some small breakout out of this resistance, but there was no solid confirmation there, and then we had a sell-off afterwards. So I'm currently trading at the 62.5k range, kind of in this type of area. Weekly time frame is still trading above the 20 EMA support, which is pretty fine. Weekly MACD is finishing the red zone, giving us some bullish sentiment there. Monthly time frame, monthly MACD is still looking pretty bad. Monthly candle, which is October, is still in the red, but again, we got plenty of days. We got 22 days left, right? 22 days left till the close of the current monthly candle, so we got plenty of data left for this candle to have reversal to the upside, and hoping obviously for that type of scenario. Gold and S&P is slightly having some pullback from the all-time high range. Ethereum is correlating with the Bitcoin. Bitcoin pair trading at the bottom of falling wedge. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 58.1%, pretty high. Ethereum dominance sitting at a 2-year low, 13.7%. It's pretty much all TA for today. Let's move on to the news. First news coming from Dubai. Dubai eliminates value-added taxes on Bitcoin transfers and conversions. Pretty great. National Bank of Bahrain launches the first Bitcoin investment product in a country. Also, Bitcoin apparently is the best performing asset, if you're not gonna include specific stocks, the best performing assets in a current year. The current year-to-date return is 49.2% compared to the gold, which is 26.5. You know, pretty impressive. Almost 2x of gold performance. And the most bullish news coming from BlackRock, again, BlackRock was pretty bullish lately. So they're saying Bitcoin adoption is growing faster than an internet and a mobile phone. So let's hear it. Here's some little presentation from the BlackRock.
Head of thematic investing at BlackRock, I really spend a lot of my time thinking about the future and some of the disruptive changes that are impacting the world and society and the economy and our portfolios around us. Oftentimes this is about disruptive technologies, oftentimes it's about societal changes. But what we found with blockchain and digital assets is that in some ways this is one of the fastest growing technologies we've seen in the last few years. On the right-hand side of the chart, you can see our adoption curve. This is just looking at how quickly certain assets are adopted by a society. And you can see that blockchain and digital assets are being adopted faster than major revolutions before it, whether that's the internet or whether that's cell phones. And there's a couple of reasons for this. The first reason is just we're living in a more digital economy than ever before. If we're consuming things online, streaming videos, playing video games, buying digital content, it makes sense to have digitally native assets to conduct those transactions, particularly when there's, secondly, and importantly, in a year like this year, where over half the world's population is voting for new leadership, not just the elections in the United States, in Mexico, in India, and the European Union, we're seeing more geopolitical risk than before, and in fact, declining trust in institutions, whether that's trust in government institutions for maintaining peace and order, whether that's trust in central banks in terms of keeping inflation under control. More distrust has exacerbated the need for a global monetary alternative. The third we're seeing is demographic changes, the rise of the millennial and Gen Z generation, Millennials, at least in the United States, are set to inherit trillions of dollars, are entering peak earnings years in their work, and are increasingly playing an important role in the economy. And millennials are very different from previous generations because me, were the first generation to be digitally native, growing up with the internet, growing up with computers. We understand digital better than previous generations, and that means we're more likely to adopt digital currencies. And then finally, what I think has been really important to BlackRock in our journey in the digital asset space has been the maturing of infrastructure in digital assets. We've seen billions of dollars move in venture capital and private equity into digital assets to fund incredible innovation in blockchain. We've seen the regulatory environment evolve to get more constructive around digital assets and how people can buy them. We've seen extremely talented people leave traditional finance to go into DeFi to help lead some of these innovations. And all of this infrastructure has really matured over the last 5 years. So between all of these tailwinds, it's really creating the opportunity for digital assets to gain broader adoption across more investors around the world. With that being said, we're in the early days. 2.9 trillion, it changes every day. Maybe it's slightly higher or slightly lower since we made this slide. But we could have focused thus far our efforts on 2 digital assets, the 2 largest. We feel that between these 2 assets, which represent about 75% of the market cap of the digital asset space, and have some of the most liquidity in the digital asset space, that we can really start to make headway in terms of bringing out accessible vehicles to more investors. Now, what I'm going to talk about...
It's pretty interesting. They pointing out the Bitcoin and Ethereum as the main assets of the crypto. But obviously we're here as a Bitcoin maxis. Our main focus is Bitcoin, and it's pretty good words to hear for a Bitcoin and for crypto adoption in general. So that's pretty much all news and tea for today. Obviously hoping for breakout of this downtrend, small short-term downtrend resistance, and obviously falling channel on a daily time frame. The current zone would be 68.5k range to have breakout out of this falling channel. It's been almost half of the year, even more than half of the year of this falling channel, so it's pretty important one. And obviously 27 days till the US presidential election in America, and hoping for that one for the beginning of the bull cycle after the election. We're having some small mark there. You can see that's not a lot of time has left for election. So yes, pretty much it. To the moon, to the moon, to the moon.